My name is Benjamin Ehrman. I'm 32 years old. I'm a paleontologist. I've been fascinated by nature and prehistoric animals basically since I was bite-sized. And I work at the Prospector Theater as a prospect. And my sparkle is paleontology and prehistoric animals. That's my bread and butter. I'm fascinated by the world of the past, and any information about prehistoric life always stokes my interest. For since as long as I can remember, I had dinosaur figurines, I had watched children's documentaries about dinosaurs. I would also watch movies like Jurassic Park. Basically, no matter what the capacity, dinosaurs were always a part of my life. I knew I wanted to study them for a career when I grew up. So I worked hard and applied myself in school to get good grades in undergrad, in like elementary school, middle school, high school. I went to SUNY Purchase College and got a Bachelor's of Arts in Environmental Studies. And for my master's degree, I got a Master's in Biological Sciences at the University of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. It's been kind of tough because a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be autistic, and they treated me differently because of it. I had a hard time making friends. I often had supervisors or teachers that didn't know what to do with me. I did my best and always applied myself in school to do well in class, get high grades, but I always had trouble fitting in. I love how accepting and warm and understanding and friendly everyone here is, the Prospector. Here I feel like I'm finally surrounded by people who understand what it's like, and I feel like I feel welcomed and belong, and will always be grateful for that.
So when I met Ben Ehrman, I think he was sweeping at the concession stand, and with the first 10 seconds of knowing Ben, I said, wait a minute, stop. Why are you working here? What are you doing? He had told me that he was a paleontologist, that he had gotten his master's degree, and he had such a sparkle when he was speaking about dinosaurs. He was a resident expert here at the Prospector Theater when we had Jurassic Rebirth. So at that time, I looked at him and I said, why were you at the Prospector? Why are you here working on Gemstone Farm? Why didn't you go direct from your master's to PhD? And he told me a story that broke my heart. Ben took the job at the Prospector Theater to heal his soul.
I received feedback from my performance other than, you're doing excellent, way to go, Ben. It's the first time I received harsh criticism that commenting that what I was doing wasn't good enough, or I wasn't up to par for a graduate student, or my autism made me inferior to my other lab mates. It's the first time I heard things like that, and it kind of destroyed me. Relationships between teachers and students, supervisors and their students, is a two-way street. Like, if I was prone to always blaming myself whenever there was a mistake, and thus I would internalize it and just tell myself, I'm not smart, I'm not cut out for this, I need to do better. Well, there were still things I needed to learn and do better. I also learned that sometimes the teachers and professors aren't really doing enough on their end to really understand your needs. Clear communication between the student and the professor, and if they don't know how to interact with each other, you need to seek help from people with experience with neurodiversity to help facilitate those interactions. Blaming myself and feeling bad, and that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help yourself, it doesn't help you improve, and it doesn't help your teachers understand how to help you improve.
This is a shout out to anyone in academia who has stopped people on the autism spectrum or disabilities from being included in the driving of knowledge, the driving of research, who have been gatekeeping that for so long. That's over now. We live in a new world now, and people who are neurodivergent should, could, and now will be recognized for the talents that they have, for their love of learning and just devouring and consuming material. Those are the research papers. Those are the people who are going to cure diseases. Those are the people, and it's their time to shine.
I think I had to learn to see the strengths and weaknesses in myself. I learned to embrace my autism and not just see it as a weakness, but actually as a strength as well.
One day we're working together, and his texts start going off, ding, 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 and I said, Ben, it's okay. You can take the messages. Why are you getting messages? Is it your birthday? And he said, no, but I am celebrating something. And I said, what are you celebrating? And he said, I wasn't going to tell you yet because I didn't know how to tell you, but his eyes are filling with tears. I was accepted to a PhD program in Australia to study paleontology. Ben, rock on. That's exactly what you should be doing. And it was a full scholarship and a full ride, and he was going to publish papers. Exactly the dream kind of fit for him. Exactly where Ben always should be. Ben, you are a warrior paleontologist. You are going to go out there and you're going to discover whatever it is you're going to discover about the eating habits of these dinosaurs, which is research that needs to be known. And you have our full support and sparkle behind you. You can conquer anything that you want.
Even after I could pass my master's thesis, I still had dealt with a lot of insecurity. Being here helped me remember that it's okay to be imperfect. It meant the world to me, knowing that my supervisors, my coworkers, my bosses, they understood what it was like, and I felt so immensely grateful to them for that, more than I can put into words. It really did mean the whole world to me.